Anybody want to fire? All right, recommend Charlie Kimball, the number 23 Chevrolet Carlin. Nordis sponsorship. Welcome, sir. Just so everybody knows, just bring us up to date with where you stand as far as your situation with the season, what's going on, and what you're looking forward to.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that it's really exciting that Noah Nordisk is back for their 11th season in IndyCar partnering with me. That relationship is, very personal. I think everyone knows the story to me, but at the same time, the relationship, not just in IndyCar and in racing, but that length of a partnership is not particularly common in sports as well. So that, I think, for me, it gives me a lot of confidence that they continue to see value, even though they're facing an evolving landscape within their industry. And last year we had some great results with Carlin, a top 5 at Toronto, qualifying 2 cars for the top 20 at the Indianapolis 500 is not something to scoff at when 2 cars didn't make the field. Former pole winner didn't make the field. I think that's a testament to their work ethic, their preparation, and their ability to go out and be competitive pretty much all the time. I know that having had a little bit of time to breathe, catch their breath after last season, and go to work on what we learned as a team last year, I think the opportunity to be even more successful is there this year. My calendar at the moment has 5 races confirmed. It's nice to bookend the season, so start and end of the year with St. Pete and Laguna. My most recent experience, or one of the more recent experiences at Laguna was in '98 for the pass. I was there as a kid, 13-year-old kid, because my dad was there doing some engineering work. And until they went up in smoke a little over a year ago, I had a film, negative in print, of the pass with Alex sliding by the inside of Brian at the top, because I took the photo and then went, oh my God, and didn't take any more photos, which is why I'm not a professional photographer, because I stopped to enjoy the moment rather than take photos of it. So I'm looking forward to both St. Pete and Laguna, as well as anchored with the Indianapolis 500, the 103rd running, Texas Motor Speedway, and Pocono. So the site of my first pole, and where I've been on the podium before. So it's a solid calendar schedule. It's nice to kind of hit all of the geographic regions of the U.S. And it'll be interesting and fun to be a part of the team when I'm not in the car, because I think that's an opportunity. I plan to be at every race, working with the team to help lend the benefit of my experience.
Kind of going to that, I've known you to be more of the optimist, not the pessimist. So, what are the benefits of this situation that you're in this year?
I think it's a great opportunity to continue to learn. I've always said that as a driver, the day I stop learning is the day I should hang up my helmet. And to be a part of a team like Carlin, as they continue to grow and become more and more successful in IndyCar, I have every confidence they will be. So being a part of that, both on and off the track, is going to be a lot of fun for me personally, and an opportunity to grow and learn as a person and now as a father.
How do you establish a rhythm? Is that something that enters your mind? Because you're not going to be in the car for every race this year. How tough will it be to establish a driving rhythm?
I think there's enough track time, especially when we get to the month of May. There's plenty of track time to get into that sequencing. But visualization, simulation is a big part of our sport anyways. The opportunity to do it, to prepare for those discrete moments when I'm in the car, will be helpful. At the same time, going to Texas, I will have had the opportunity to rest and recover at Detroit instead of doing a doubleheader. So I maybe come into the races a little more rested and have had, the moment the checker flag flies at Indy, I'll be thinking about the green flag at Texas rather than Detroit. So I hope that I can turn it into the chance and the opportunity to be even more successful because of those discrete packets when I'm in the car.
Do you also see a way that you may follow in your father's footsteps for a post-driving career role in the sport?
Engineering, maybe. I don't know. I don't know that I'm smart enough to be a racing engineer. I'd love to continue to stay involved and find a way. I think I will continue to do a lot of speaking and support for the diabetes community, as well as other communities that I've been involved with and continue, but have been time limited. So I think this year will give me the opportunity to develop those partnerships.
And how much of a resource has it been having your dad as your dad to be able to pick his brain on race engineering?
Well, it's invaluable. Sometimes it's hard because we talk as driver and engineer, and sometimes I need to talk to him as father and son. So that our relationship since I started go-karting at the age of 9 continues to evolve. These days he's pretty busy dealing with irrigation and trees and agriculture and hasn't had much time to do engineering. So I think he enjoys the opportunity to not think about rebuilding and focus on racing a little bit, which is definitely one of his big passions.
You're with a team that has a lot of experience in just about every series except for IndyCar. They're still sort of new to the top level. Do you see yourself, and there's no gray in that beard, but do you see yourself as like a veteran leader
Just don't look closely.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, just for men, okay. But do you see yourself as a veteran leader of the team to help point them in the direction based on your experience? And if so, do you embrace that role as sort of a team leader kind of thing?
I hope so. I hope I can provide enough value to help point them in the right direction. I think I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of last season, being a driver with, coming into last year, 7 years of IndyCar experience, to lend that experience to a new and a young team. Now it's a great opportunity, but there's also pressure with that in that you want to make sure you're leading them in the right direction and not leading them down the garden path. I think Max and I worked really well together. We did it at Ganassi and moving over to Carlin last year. He and I continued to build and grow that relationship. And the engineers, the strategists, the mechanics, everybody at Carlin is so committed to being successful in IndyCar. Working with Max and myself, I hope that my experience, especially when I'm not in the car this year, can help give them some direction on how to be successful long term, because that's our goal.
How's that going to change your your weekends? I mean, you probably have rhythms and patterns and things that you did as a driver, you're racing. How is that going to change your routines on race day weekend?
Well, I think it'll have to evolve and develop. I'm not sure what it looks like quite yet because I haven't done it before. And the only IndyCar race since I started in St. Pete in 2011 I missed was Mid-Ohio in 2012 with a cast on my hand, and that was as much about healing for the next weekend as anything else. So I think the opportunity when we get back down here to Austin for the second race, to start building a rhythm of if it's looking at corners and practices and looking at sections where the drivers want help, where the engineers want a perspective on what the cars look like and how they're handling the track and moving and things like that, and then just being a voice of experience in pit lane during the races. If it's talking to mechanics, if it's lending an additional viewpoint to strategists, however I can help, I'm available to them.
But a benefit of your schedule is now you get to spend more time being a dad.
Well, I'm still going to be on the road at all the IndyCar races, but hopefully I come home a little more rested than I would. And frankly, when I'm traveling, I think I get better night's sleep than I do at home at the moment. Although our daughter, who will be 4 months on Saturday, is sleeping really well, and it's been an incredible experience. My wife is absolutely amazing, and I always held her in high esteem, but seeing her as a mother has been a revelation, and a lot of fun. It's a lot better now that there's some sort of feedback loop. I don't know how many of you are parents, but the first couple of weeks you put all of your energy and all of your fear and all of your excitement into this tiny little thing that gives you nothing back except sleep and spit up. And then they grow, and now she smiles and laughs and plays, and it only gets bigger and better from here. And so the chance to enjoy that's going to be a lot of fun.
And then they become
I was
teenagers.
about to say.
Then they become teenagers.
Well, and that's the thing. I think losing sleep at this age, it just changes why there are sleepless nights as they get older, which it's going to be a lot of fun. And both my wife and I had incredible parents growing up, and so being able to pass what we learned from our parents onto our daughter is going to be fantastic. In fact, one of my coolest. So she was born middle of October, and for Halloween, she had a whole lot of different outfits because she's the first grandchild. So her grandmother, my mother, has sent a lot of outfits, along with a lot of friends and family. But one of her Halloween costumes was Billie Jean King, and I've had the opportunity to meet and talk with Billie over the years as growing up playing tennis. And so I texted her and said how cool it is for me to be the father of a daughter in a world where Billie has already been to fight for equal pay in sports and for Title IX and all of those things. And so it's really cool to have that history to rely on.
I realized you were talking about your daughter when you said the investment, the spit up, the diapers, sleepless nights. You can relate that to new drivers or even new tracks. What are the challenges you think for COTA that are going to help make this more exciting without any dangerous offs?
Well, I think it's an incredible facility. I've come here. I was here for qualifying day with the Grand Prix a few years ago. Came for the MotoGP race, and they put on amazing events. But each series, each race event has its own idiosyncrasies and its own unique pieces. I'm looking forward to getting out to the track this afternoon and tomorrow and Wednesday and seeing how the pit lane's set up with a wall on pit lane for pit stops and timing stands, not out of garages like the MotoGP and the F1 race. And understanding how the drivers move differently and the teams need to work differently. So I think as a facility, they're well equipped to put on an incredible event, and I think they will absolutely do a great job with the race. It's going to be fun to see how they handle those differences and what solutions they come up with, knowing their history with Formula One and MotoGP versus somewhere like Road America that has hosted IndyCar races for years and years and years, or even going back to Laguna, which is extremely exciting. But they have a history with kart and IndyCar to be able to go back there and say, okay, this is the challenge faced here at COTA, and here's how they solved it. And going back to Laguna, it's like, okay, this is how they handled it.
All right, with that, we'll wrap it up. Charlie?
Thank you guys very much.
Make sure.